What happens when one of Hollywood's most unpredictable actors sits down with a daytime host known for blunt questions and a simple comment about acting choices suddenly turns into one of the most heated interviews television has seen? You're about to find out. Nicolas Cage stepped onto the set with his usual intensity, that sharp focus in his eyes that has shaped some of the most unforgettable performances in film history. The audience cheered as he took his seat, the host smiling warmly, though Joy Behar had a look that hinted she was planning something more pointed than the usual opening questions. Things started calmly. Whoopi Goldberg asked about his new independent thriller, the one getting attention at festivals. Cage explained with clear passion why the story mattered to him, how he felt drawn to characters living on the edges of society. He spoke with energy, his hands moving as he described what pulled him toward such roles. Then Joy leaned forward, cutting into his answer. "Nicholas, I have to ask you something," she said, her voice casual but carrying an unmistakable edge. "You've made amazing films, but also some real odd choices. Do you ever look back and think, what was I doing?" The crowd laughed nervously. Cage's jaw tightened just a bit. "Which films are you talking about?" he asked, his tone calm but firm. Joy shrugged lightly. "Some of those action movies that go straight to streaming. You're an Oscar winner, Nicholas. You've made some of the best films ever. And then you show up in things people forget in a week." Sarah. Haynes tried to soften her words, but Cage wasn't looking at her. His focus was locked on Joy. "I appreciate the concern," he said, his voice carrying that signature quick-building intensity. "But I'm curious, Joy, when you look at your own work, do you ever question your choices? The jokes you've made? The way you've treated guests?" The table went silent. Joy laughed, but the smile didn't reach her eyes. "Oh, getting defensive, are we? I'm just asking what people wonder." "No," Cage replied, his voice rising. "You're making a judgment disguised as a question. There's a difference. And it's interesting hearing this from someone in television, an industry that produces more forgettable content in a day than film does in a year." "Sonny," Hostin stepped in gently, but Cage cut back to her kindly before, returning to Joy. "I came here to talk about a film that took years to make. That means something to me. Instead, I'm being asked to defend my entire career, based on box office, numbers, and critics." Joy crossed her arms. "Don't twist my words. I didn't say that. Didn't you?" Cage shot back. "You talked about movies nobody remembers. You questioned my artistic judgment. What exactly were you implying?" The room was tense, the audience completely quiet. Joy straightened, her tone sharper. "I've interviewed hundreds of actors. I ask tough questions. That's my job. If you can't handle scrutiny, maybe you shouldn't be doing press tours." Cage's reply came with controlled anger. "Scrutiny means doing research. Scrutiny means watching the films you're mocking. What you're doing is lazy. You're going for the easy laugh." Whoopi tried to calm things down, but Cage continued, years of frustration rising to the surface. "You want to know why I take certain roles? Because I love acting. I love the challenge. Not every movie will be Leaving Las Vegas, but every role teaches me something. And those streaming films you mock? They give jobs to hundreds of people. They entertain millions who want something fun at the end of a long week. Who are you to say that has no value?" Joy's expression hardened. "What I see is an actor who used to be selective and now does movies like he's running a factory. Quantity over quality." "From the outside," Cage repeated with disdain. "From where you sit? Judging without knowing anything about the work behind the scenes." Alyssa Farah. Griffin tried steering things back to the new movie, but Cage wasn't done. "I know why I did every movie I've done. Did they all have big budgets? No. Were they all masterpieces? No. But I showed up and gave everything to each one." Joy smirked. "Nice speech, but you've done some duds. The audience knows it. Haven't we all seen a Cage movie and wondered what happened to the guy from Raising Arizona?" The audience whispered, uncertain. Cage stood up briefly but didn't walk away. "If you want to poll the audience, let's ask how many actually saw the films. How many went in with an open mind?" Joy didn't back down. "It's not the same quality as before." "That's a fact. That's your opinion stated as fact," Cage snapped. "This isn't journalism. It's elitism." Sarah tried smoothing things over again, but Cage responded softly, "It feels like I walked into an ambush." 30 seconds on my film. Then questions designed to embarrass me. Whoopi insisted they calm down, but Cage's eyes still burned. "I won't apologize for defending my work." Joy's voice turned icy. "You accused me of bad journalism on air." "I said this was lazy journalism," Cage corrected. "If you dish it out, you should take it." "I can take it," Joy fired back. "But you're deflecting. You don't want to answer why you say yes to so many films?" Cage took a deep breath. "You want the truth? I work because I have to. Not just financially, emotionally, creatively. Acting isn't a hobby for me. It's how I understand myself, how I connect with others. Some roles are challenging, some are fun, some are paychecks. But I show up. I give everything, even when the film might never get recognition." Joy wasn't convinced. "So every single one challenged you?" "No," Cage admitted. "But they all mattered. And unlike this interview, I showed up for them fully." Joy bristled. "That's unfair." "What's unfair is coming in with an agenda," he answered. "You didn't want a conversation. You wanted a moment." Whoopi finally stood, demanding they move on, but Cage shook his head. "I can't pretend this didn't happen." Joy threw up her hands. "Then leave." Cage stared at her. "You want me gone because I defended myself?" "I'm giving you an out," she said. "Since you don't want to be here," Cage's voice cracked slightly. "I wanted to be here. I wanted to talk about a film I'm proud of. Instead, I got this." Sarah gently urged him to talk about the film, and he did, more quietly now. He explained the story of a man trying to rebuild after losing everything, a man seeking redemption, a man who refuses to give up even when the world turns its back. "Maybe that's why I keep working," he said. "Why I keep taking roles others wouldn't, because I understand that struggle. That need to keep going even when people question you." He looked at Joy again. "So no, I don't regret my choices. I was surviving, creating, living, and I won't apologize for that." Joy held his gaze. "I hear you, but I stand by my question, and I stand by my answer," he said. When the interview wrapped, Cage shook hands with the hosts, even Joy, though only briefly. As he walked off, the intensity in his eyes remained untouched. "So now the question is yours. Was Joy being unfair, or was Cage too reactive? Whose side are you on?"